All right, so imagine like trying to explain the internet,
Mhm.
but I mean, really explain it
Yeah.
to someone who,
Yeah.
still thinks it's just a series of tubes.
Hmm.
That's kind of what we're doing today, right?
Yeah.
Using Simon King's digital marketing strategy as our guide.
Great book.
So we've got excerpts from this, like beast of a book,
Oh, yeah.
which covers, well,
Pretty much everything.
pretty much everything
Yeah.
in the,
Ever-changing.
ever-changing world of online business.
Exactly.
But
Don't worry. We're not getting
like
into
aiming for
quick
information overload.
info overload here. No, no, no.
Yeah.
We're after those juicy, insightful bits
Mm-hmm.
that'll get you,
Strategically fluent.
strategically fluent.
Yes.
Whether you're prepping for a big meeting
Right.
or just kind of curious about, like, the wizardry behind those ads that seem to know you better than your own mother.
I know. It's fascinating to me.
How much the digital world has changed, even just since Kings North wrote this book.
That's what's so great about doing this deep dive.
Yeah.
It's that,
Yeah.
the book lays a really solid foundation,
Uh-huh.
and then we can like layer on those real world updates, right? And see how things are playing out today.
And speaking of foundations, Kings North kicks things off with a quick history lesson,
Okay.
taking us all the way back to Web 1.0.
Oh, wow.
Remember
Yeah.
those static pages where you basically just consumed information?
Right, right.
It's such a contrast to today's dynamic user-generated content world.
Oh, totally. It's like the difference between
Yeah.
reading a textbook and
Yeah.
having a conversation.
Absolutely.
And it makes you realize how crucial user experience has become.
So true.
Thinking back to like MySpace,
Oh, yeah,
it had that early social media concept down,
it did.
but ultimately it was that like clunky interface
Yeah.
that drove people away.
It's a great case study
Right.
in how prioritizing user experience can make or break a platform.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's what I find really intriguing.
Okay.
The lines between online and offline marketing
Yeah,
are practically invisible these days.
you're right. Having a website is just
Table stakes.
table stakes at
Yeah.
this point.
Digital strategy needs to be woven into every single aspect of a business,
Oh, wow.
from product development to customer service.
Okay, so let's unpack what it really means to be
Yeah.
strategically fluent
Yeah.
in this,
Digital age.
digital age. Where do we even begin?
Well, Kings North is adamant that it all starts with aligning
Sure.
your digital strategy with your overall business goals.
Mhm.
It sounds obvious,
Yeah.
but you'd be surprised how many companies miss this crucial step.
It's like setting off on a road trip with a car full of snacks,
Oh, yeah.
but no destination in mind, right?
Right.
You'll enjoy the ride, sure,
You will.
but you're not going to get anywhere productive.
That's a great analogy.
So to avoid that, like
Aimless wandering.
aimless wandering, yeah.
You've got to ask yourself some
Duh.
tough questions.
Like,
What's our business model?
okay.
Are we truly customer-centric?
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't about just saying you are.
Right,
You have to demonstrate it
right.
with every interaction.
Actions speak louder than words, right?
They do.
Especially online, where everything's trackable.
Yeah.
It's all about walking the walk.
Absolutely. And it all begins with truly understanding your brand.
Okay.
And I'm talking about its values, its
Mhm.
visual identity, its tone of voice,
Mm-hmm.
everything that makes it unique.
Right.
Your digital presence needs to reflect who you are offline,
Right.
but it also has to adapt to the digital world.
Oh, interesting.
Think about accessibility on those tiny mobile screens
Mm-hmm.
or how people consume information differently online.
Yeah.
You need to make your brand sing
Right.
in this new context.
That's a great point. You can't just like copy and paste your offline brand
Come share
onto
it.
the internet
Oh,
and expect it to work
Yeah.
seamlessly, right? It has
Gotta
to
evolve.
evolve. Yeah.
And something else that often gets overlooked is the role of internal company culture.
Okay.
A siloed approach
Yeah.
where departments don't talk to each other
Right.
can absolutely sabotage even the most brilliant digital strategy.
It's like trying to build a house with everyone working from different blueprints. It's just not going to work.
Kings North talks about the importance of both quantitative
Okay.
and qualitative research in this context.
Okay.
I found that particularly insightful.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Why did that resonate with you?
Because so often businesses get caught up in the numbers,
Right.
the website traffic, the conversion rates.
Right.
But those numbers only tell half the story.
Right.
You need to understand the why behind them.
Right. So like, why are people clicking?
Yeah.
Why are they bouncing?
Why are they leaving?
That's where the qualitative stuff comes in, right?
It is.
Gathering insights into customer behavior,
Yes.
motivations.
Same points.
So it's about looking beyond, like, the what
The what?
and understanding the why.
That's right.
And I guess that requires a different set of skills and tools.
It does. It's about talking to your customers,
Right.
observing how they interact with your brand, and really digging deep into their experiences. It's not easy,
Yeah.
but it's essential
Right.
for developing a digital strategy that truly connects.
It sounds like it requires a major shift in thinking for a lot of companies.
It does, but it's a necessary shift
Yeah.
because without that deeper understanding of your customers,
Right.
you're just shooting in the dark.
And that brings us to the challenges and opportunities
Right.
facing digital marketers today.
Hmm.
What are some of the biggest hurdles you see companies struggling with?
Well, the one that keeps me up at night, the rapid pace of technological evolution.
Okay.
New platforms and tools are emerging constantly,
Right.
which can create a massive skills gap within organizations.
It's like trying to learn a new language
Yeah.
while the dictionary is being rewritten
That's it.
every few months. How do you even keep up?
It's tough, but it's essential.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to constantly learn and adapt.
Mm-hmm.
And that requires buy-in, not just from individual marketers, but from the organization as a whole.
Because if everyone's too busy putting out fires to learn new skills,
Exactly.
you're never going to get ahead of the curve.
Right. And then there's the issue of limited budgets,
Uh-huh.
convincing the higher-ups
Yeah.
to invest in something as dynamic
Right.
and, let's be honest, sometimes unproven
Yeah.
as digital marketing
Yeah.
can be a real battle.
Especially when they're still clinging to those,
Oh, yeah.
like, tried and true traditional methods
The old ways.
that might not be so effective in the digital age.
Yeah.
Right?
It can be a tough sell. You have to be able to articulate the value
Yeah.
of digital marketing
Mm-hmm.
in a way that resonates with them,
Mm-hmm.
using data and case studies to demonstrate the potential ROI.
It's about speaking their language
It is.
and showing them how digital can help them
Achieve their goals.
to achieve their goals, whatever those goals may be.
Exactly.
And then there's the ever-changing landscape of regulations,
Right.
particularly around data privacy.
Oh, yes.
This is a minefield
Minefield.
for companies.
It really is.
It seems like every other week there's a new data breach
Yeah.
or privacy scandal making headlines.
All the time.
How do you navigate that as a marketer?
You have to be incredibly careful.
Right.
Transparency and respect for user data
Mm-hmm.
are absolutely paramount.
Yeah.
You need to have clear policies in place
Mm-hmm.
and make sure your users understand how you're collecting and using their data.
Right.
Kings North actually gives some really compelling
Mhm.
and terrifying
Oh, really?
examples of companies who got it wrong
Uh-oh.
and paid the price, both financially and reputationally.
Oh, that makes me think we should do a separate deep dive.
Yeah,
Got data privacy sometime.
I'm in.
But for now, let's shift gears
Yeah.
to something a bit more positive.
All right,
Strategic planning.
let's get organized.
All right, let's get organized. What's Kings North's take on this?
He outlines a few different planning approaches,
Okay.
including vision-based, real-time, and phased.
Okay.
What's interesting is he doesn't say one is better than another.
Right.
It's about finding the right fit
Yeah.
for your specific business and circumstances.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Definitely not.
You have to tailor it to your needs.
Exactly. But regardless of which approach you choose,
Okay.
the key is to have a clear roadmap for success.
Right.
It means setting smart goals.
Smart goals. I love it.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Oh, yeah.
And once you have those goals,
Okay.
you break them down into objectives,
Mhm.
strategies, and action plans.
So it's about moving from, like,
Vague ideas.
vague ideas to a concrete plan of attack.
That's right.
And what about risk management?
Yes,
Because let's be real, things don't always go according to plan,
that's true.
especially in the digital world.
That's where contingency planning comes in.
Okay.
Kings North really stresses the importance of anticipating potential pitfalls
Right.
and having a plan B
Right.
or even a plan C.
Okay.
What could go wrong?
Right.
How would we respond?
Yeah.
Those are the questions you need to be asking yourself
Mm-hmm.
throughout the planning process.
It's almost like a pre-mortem
Exactly.
for your strategy.
Yeah.
Like, identify the potential points of failure before they happen
Before they happen.
so you can mitigate the risks.
Exactly. It's about being proactive rather than reactive.
Right.
Because in the fast-paced world of digital marketing, You don't always have the luxury of time to figure things out on the fly.
All right, so we've got our plan in place.
Okay.
We're aware of the challenges and opportunities. Now let's talk about those key channels.
All right.
Where do we even begin?
Kingsnorth does a deep dive on SEO, paid search, display advertising, and social media.
Oh, wow. The big ones?
Each one is a beast in itself.
Yeah.
But they all play an important role in a comprehensive digital strategy.
Where do you want to start?
It's up to you.
Let's start with SEO, since it's often seen as like the foundation of a strong online presence.
It is.
So it's not just about cramming keywords onto a web page anymore, right?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Google's algorithms have become incredibly sophisticated, and they're constantly evolving.
Oh, yeah. Always changing.
Today, it's all about creating high-quality content that provides genuine value to users. And it's about building a website that is technically sound, easy to navigate, and mobile-friendly.
So Google's basically forcing us to be better.
In a way, yes.
Both in terms of like the content we create and the overall user experience we provide.
But it's for the benefit of everyone involved.
Right.
Users get better search results, and websites that are truly valuable get rewarded with higher rankings.
Okay, so give us a quick history lesson
All right.
on how Google's gotten to where it is today. How have these algorithms evolved over the years?
Well, in the early days, pre-2003, Google's algorithms were pretty simple.
Okay.
Rankings were largely determined by on-page factors, like keyword density and meta tags.
Right.
Basically, you could game the system fairly easily by stuffing your pages with keywords.
So the internet was kind of like the Wild West back then.
It was. But then Google started cracking down on these manipulative techniques.
Yeah.
They realized that users weren't getting the best results. And they were determined to fix it.
So they became the sheriff of the internet.
Something like that.
Laying down the law for websites.
They rolled out a series of updates, starting with Panda in 2011.
Panda, okay.
This targeted websites with low quality or thin content.
Right.
Those that weren't really providing value to users.
Right. So like content farms and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was a major wake-up call for website owners.
Right.
They realized they couldn't just get away with keyword stuffing anymore.
So they had to start focusing on creating content that people actually wanted to read.
Exactly. And then came Penguin in 2012, which focused on link quality.
Okay.
Google wanted to see websites earning backlinks from reputable sources.
Right.
Not just buying them in bulk or participating in shady link schemes.
So it became more about building like genuine authority and credibility online.
Exactly. Just like in the offline world.
And these weren't just like one-off updates, right?
No. Google's algorithms are constantly being tweaked and refined.
Okay.
In 2013, we had Hummingbird.
Hummingbird.
Which was all about understanding the intent behind search queries.
Oh, wow.
Google wanted to move beyond just matching keywords.
Right.
And really understand what users were looking for.
Right.
Even if they weren't using the exact words.
So they were becoming more like human.
More human.
More intuitive in their understanding of language.
Exactly. And then came Mobilegeddon in 2015.
Oh, Mobilegeddon, that was a big one.
That was huge.
I remember that one.
This made mobile friendliness a major ranking factor.
Okay.
This was a huge shift as more and more people were accessing the internet from their smartphones.
Right.
If your website wasn't optimized for mobile, you were going to lose out on a lot of traffic.
It forced a lot of companies to finally get serious about mobile.
It did. And then in 2016, we had RankBrain.
RankBrain, okay.
Which uses machine learning to understand the context of search queries.
So they're really taking it to the next level.
They are. This was another big step towards making search more human and personalized.
So Google's constantly getting smarter, more sophisticated in its ability to connect users with the information they need.
And all of these updates emphasize the importance of creating high-quality content that is relevant, informative, and engaging for users. It's not just about keywords anymore. It's about the entire user experience.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground with SEO.
We have.
But I'm curious, what are some of the less obvious ways that SEO is impacting digital marketing today?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think one of the most interesting trends is the rise of voice search.
Oh, yeah. Voice search.
As more and more people use voice assistants like Siri and Alexa to search for information, websites need to optimize their content for these conversational queries.
You mean we have to think about how people talk?
Exactly.
Rather than how they type.
People use different language when they're speaking than when they're typing.
Right.
So you need to make sure your content is structured in a way that is easy for voice assistants to understand.
So instead of targeting keywords like best running shoes, we need to target phrases like, hey Siri, find me the best running shoes for marathon training.
That's a great example.
All right.
It's about understanding the user's intent and providing the information they need in a way that is natural and conversational.
And I guess that ties back to what we were saying earlier.
It does.
About, the blurring of lines between online and offline marketing.
That's right.
The way people search online is becoming more and more like the way they interact with the world offline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about creating a seamless experience for the user.
Right.
Regardless of how they're interacting with your brand.
Okay, so we talked about creating like high quality content.
Yes.
Building a user-friendly website, and optimizing for voice search. What else do we need to know about SEO in today's digital landscape?
Well, one of the most important things is to think about SEO holistically. It's not just a technical task that you can hand off to a specialist. It needs to be integrated into your overall marketing strategy.
So it's not just about like getting to the top of the search results. It's about using SEO to drive business goals.
Exactly.
Whatever those may be.
Whether that's generating leads, driving sales, or building brand awareness. And one of the best examples of this is MoneySupermarket.com.
Okay.
Kingsnorth actually does a whole case study on them.
Oh, cool.
And how they dominated SEO through their unique organizational structure.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of companies struggle with how to like integrate SEO into their existing teams, right?
Yeah. MoneySupermarket.com completely dissolved their traditional SEO and social media teams.
Oh, wow.
And created a new team called Organic Performance.
Organic Performance.
This brought together experts from various digital disciplines under shared KPIs. Allowing them to work together more effectively.
So they weren't just like siloed in their own little departments.
They weren't.
They were all working towards
the same goals.
The same goals.
Exactly. And it allowed them to share knowledge and insights more effectively. They were able to see the bigger picture and understand how their individual efforts were contributing to the overall success of the company.
That's a really interesting model.
It is.
It suggests that like breaking down silos and fostering collaboration is key to success in SEO.
And it also highlights the importance of having a clear understanding of your goals and how SEO can help you achieve them.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground with SEO. It's clearly
It's a beast.
A complex and ever-changing field.
It is.
But let's move on to paid search now.
Okay.
How does that fit into the overall digital marketing puzzle?
Paid search is a great way to complement your SEO efforts.
Okay.
It allows you to target specific keywords and reach users who are actively searching for products or services like yours.
Okay, let's talk money.
All right.
How do we make sure we're getting the most bang for our buck with paid search?
It's a good question.
Because I've heard horror stories of companies wasting tons of money on poorly targeted campaigns.
It all starts with understanding the auction model.
Okay.
Essentially, you're bidding for potential clicks on your ads. Which appear alongside those organic search results we were just talking about.
So it's a bidding war for eyeballs.
It is.
But the good news is, like, you only pay when someone actually clicks on your ad.
Right. It's a very cost-effective way to reach your target audience, especially when you're starting out and don't have a lot of organic traffic yet.
Okay.
And you can get really granular with your targeting. Choosing specific demographics, interests, locations, and even devices. To ensure that your ads are seen by the right people.
Okay, but how do we choose the right keywords to bid on?
That's the key.
Because not all keywords are created equal, right?
Right. Some keywords are highly competitive.
Yeah.
And will cost you a fortune to bid on.
Right.
Like car insurance or cheap flights.
Right.
You could burn through your entire budget in a day.
Oh, no.
And not see any real results.
Ouch. So how do we avoid those? Like
budget black holes.
Budget black holes.
That's where keyword research comes in.
Okay.
You need to understand what terms your target audience is actually using to search for products or services like yours. And you need to think about the intent behind those searches.
So are they just browsing?
Exactly.
Or are they ready to buy?
Are they ready to convert?
And that's where long-tail keywords can be really valuable, right?
They can.
Those are like the more specific phrases that are less competitive.
Less competitive.
And often indicate a higher purchase intent.
Right.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Let's say you sell running shoes.
Okay.
Instead of bidding on a broad term like running shoes,
right,
which was going to be super competitive, you could target a long-tail keyword like best running shoes for marathon training.
That makes sense. Someone searching for that specific phrase is much more likely to be like a serious runner who's ready to invest in a good pair of shoes.
Exactly. And another important aspect of paid search is choosing the right match types.
Match types, okay.
This tells Google how closely you want your ads to match the user's search query.
So we can be really specific.
You can.
Or really broad.
Or broad.
With our targeting?
Right. There's broad match,
okay,
phrase match, exact match,
okay,
and even negative match.
Negative match, okay.
Which allows you to exclude certain terms from triggering your ads.
Okay, break those down for us.
All right. Broad match is the most general.
Okay.
Your ads will show for any search query that includes your keywords.
Okay.
In any order.
Okay.
So if your keyword is running shoes, your ads might show up for searches like best shoes for running.
Right.
Or buy running shoes online.
Right.
But the downside is you might end up paying for a lot of irrelevant clicks from people who aren't actually interested in what you're selling.
Right. So broad match can be a bit of a gamble.
It can. What about phrase match?
Phrase match.
A phrase match is a bit more specific.
Right.
Your ads will show for any search query that includes your keywords in the exact order you specify.
Okay.
So if your keyword is running shoes, your ads will only show for searches like buy running shoes or best running shoes for women.
Right.
It gives you more control over who sees your ads.
And what about exact match?
Exact match is the most specific.
Okay.
Your ads will only show for searches that perfectly match your keywords.
Okay.
In the exact order you specify.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if your keyword is running shoes, your ads will only show for searches for running shoes and nothing else.
So very, very specific.
Very specific. It's great for targeting very specific queries and minimizing wasted spend.
And then there's negative match, which is kind of like the opposite of broad match.
Exactly. Negative match allows you to exclude certain terms from triggering your ads. So if you don't want your ads to show for searches for used running shoes, you can add used as a negative keyword. It helps to refine your targeting even further.
Okay.
And ensure that you're only reaching people who are genuinely interested in your products or services.
So choosing the right match types is crucial for maximizing your ROI.
Yes.
And ensuring that your ads are reaching the right people.
Absolutely. It's one of the most important aspects of paid search advertising.
This has been super helpful in understanding like the basics of paid search. And I'm wondering, what are some of the more advanced strategies that companies are using to really stand out in such a competitive landscape?
Well, one of the most interesting trends is the use of audience targeting.
Audience targeting, though.
This goes beyond just targeting keywords.
Right.
And allows you to target your ads to specific groups of people based on their demographics, interests, and online behavior.
So we can reach people who have already shown an interest in our products or services, even if they're not actively searching for them at the moment.
Exactly. You can use data from your website, your CRM system, and even your social media channels to create highly targeted audiences that are more likely to convert into customers.
That's really powerful. It's almost like we can anticipate their needs before they even know they have them.
In a way, yes.
Right.
And another trend that's gaining momentum is the use of machine learning to automate and optimize paid search campaigns.
Machine learning. So we're letting the algorithms
in a sense,
do the heavy lifting for us.
Machine learning algorithms can analyze vast amounts of data and identify patterns that humans might miss. This allows them to adjust bids, optimize targeting, and even create new ad copy in real time.
Oh, wow.
To improve campaign performance.
That sounds like it could save marketers.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of time and effort.
It can. But it's important to remember that machine learning is still a tool.
Right.
You need to have a solid understanding of paid search principles to set it up correctly and interpret the results.
So it's not a set it and forget it solution.
No, not at all.
You still need to be like actively involved in managing your campaigns.
Exactly. And you need to be constantly testing and experimenting to see what works best for your business.
Right.
Because the world of paid search is constantly evolving.
All right, so we've covered SEO and paid search.
Yes.
But the digital marketing landscape is vast.
It is.
What other channels do we need to be thinking about?
Let's talk about display advertising.
Okay, let's get visual. Because I have to admit, I'm still traumatized by those like flashing banner ads from the early days of the internet.
I hear you. But display advertising has come a long way since then.
Okay, good.
Today, it can be incredibly sophisticated.
Okay.
With hyper-targeted campaigns that reach the right people at the right time.
Okay.
With visually appealing and engaging ads.
So how has it evolved? What makes it different from those like annoying banner ads of the past?
It all starts with understanding the concept of programmatic advertising and real-time bidding.
Okay, those are two terms I've heard thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure I fully understand them. Can you break them down for us?
Absolutely. Programmatic advertising is essentially the automated buying and selling of online advertising. It's all done through algorithms and platforms rather than those manual negotiations with publishers that used to be the norm.
So it's like the stock market for ads.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And real-time bidding is the process by which those ads are bought and sold in real time.
Oh, wow.
Through auctions.
Okay.
It all happens in milliseconds.
Wow.
With advertisers bidding on ad impressions. Based on a complex set of factors.
So it's all about speed and efficiency.
Exactly. And this allows advertisers to target their campaigns. With incredible precision, reaching the right people at the right time.
Wow.
With the right message.
That's powerful.
Think about it. You can target your ads based on demographics. Interests, browsing behavior. Location, time of day.
Wow.
And even the weather.
Wow, that's incredibly granular.
It is. And it's one of the reasons why display advertising has become so effective.
But how do we make sure that our display ads are actually seen and clicked on? Because I feel like I've become really good at tuning them out over the years.
That's a common problem.
Yeah.
And it's why creative and targeting are so important. Your ads need to be visually appealing and relevant to the audience you're trying to reach. You need to capture their attention and make them want to learn more.
So it's not just about throwing up a generic banner ad and hoping for the best.
Definitely not. And that's where targeting comes in. There are so many different targeting options available. From contextual targeting. Which places your ads on websites that are relevant to your products or services. To behavioral targeting. Which targets your ads based on users' past browsing behavior. You can even retarget people. Who have already visited your website but didn't make a purchase.
So if someone abandoned their shopping cart on our website, we can show them ads reminding them to complete their purchase.
It's a powerful way to bring those potential customers back into the fold. And then there's demographic targeting. Which allows you to target your ads based on users' age, gender, location, and other demographic information. And even psychographic targeting.
Psychographic targeting,
Which targets your ads based on users' interests, values, and lifestyle.
So we can get really specific with our targeting.
We can.
And make sure our ads are reaching the right people.
Exactly. And Kings North highlights a fascinating case study of PistonHeads, a UK-based automotive website. And how they used psychographic data to personalize their ad campaigns. And saw amazing results.
Tell me more about that.
They partnered with a company called Visual DNA, which provides psychographic audience data. Based on things like personality, values, and lifestyle.
Wow, that's interesting.
They then use this data
to
create highly targeted ad campaigns for Magnitude Finance, a company that provides funding for prestige automotive vehicles.
So they were able to reach people who were more likely to be interested in financing a luxury car. Even if they weren't actively searching for one.
They weren't wasting ad dollars on people who weren't a good fit for their product. And the results were impressive. They saw a significant increase in lead generation and conversion rates.
It shows the power of, like, personalization.
Absolutely.
And really understanding your audience.
It does. And it's something that more and more companies are starting to embrace.
Okay, so we've covered SEO, paid search, and display advertising.
We have.
What's next on our digital marketing tour?
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, social media.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everyone's got an opinion.
Everyone does.
On social media these days.
That's right.
But it's hard to know what actually works. Where do we even begin?
It's true. Social media can feel like a bit of a Wild West sometimes.
Yeah.
But at its core, it's all about connecting with people and building relationships.
Okay.
And for businesses, that means connecting with customers.
Right.
Building brand loyalty and providing excellent customer service.
Okay. But it's also about, like, driving business results, right?
Of course.
How do we use social media to generate leads, drive sales, and achieve those all-important marketing goals?
That's where strategy comes in.
Okay.
You need to have a clear understanding of your goals.
Right.
And how social media can help you achieve them.
Right.
And you need to choose the right platforms for your business.
Right.
It's not about being on every platform.
Right.
It's about being on the platforms where your target audience is spending their time.
So if you're targeting, like, teenagers, you might be on TikTok. But if you're targeting, like, business professionals, you might be on LinkedIn.
Exactly. And once you've chosen your platforms, you need to create content that is engaging and relevant to your audience.
So it's not just about posting promotional messages all the time.
Definitely not. People are bombarded with marketing messages all day long.
Right.
You need to provide value, entertain them, educate them, or inspire them.
Okay, but what about customer service?
Yeah.
How does social media fit into that aspect of the business?
Social media is a powerful tool for customer service.
Okay.
It allows you to connect with customers in real time, answer their questions, address their concerns, and even resolve issues publicly. It's about being transparent and responsive.
Okay.
Kingsnorth actually highlights a really interesting case study of KLM Airlines and how they've aced customer service on a global scale using social media.
Tell me more about that.
KLM is a Dutch airline that flies to over 67 countries around the world.
Wow.
And they've really embraced social media as a way to connect with their customers and provide exceptional service. They have a dedicated social media team that's available 24/7.
Oh, wow.
To respond to customer inquiries and complaints.
Wow, that's commitment.
It is. And they use a variety of platforms, including Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, to reach their customers wherever they are.
So they're not just putting all their eggs in one basket.
Right. And they're constantly monitoring social media for mentions of their brand so they can proactively address any issues that arise.
So they're on top of it.
They understand that social media is a powerful tool for reputation management.
It's like having a direct line to your customers.
Yeah.
Both the happy ones and the not so happy ones.
Exactly. And it's a great way to build relationships and create a community around your brand.
Okay, so we've talked about using social media for customer service. But what about using it for marketing?
Of course.
What are some of the, like, most effective ways to use social media to drive business results?
Well, one of the most important things is to create engaging content.
Right. Engaging content.
You need to think about what your audience wants to see and give it to them. And you need to be consistent.
Right.
Social media is a marathon, not a sprint.
So it's about building relationships over time.
Exactly. And it's about using social media to tell stories, share your brand's personality, and connect with your audience on an emotional level. Kingsnorth actually uses Airbnb as a great example of a company that's mastered the art of social media storytelling.
Tell me more about that.
Airbnb focuses on sharing the stories of their hosts and guests, which helps to humanize their brand and create a sense of community. They're not just selling a place to stay. They're selling an experience.
That's smart. People connect with stories.
They do.
It's like what makes us human.
Exactly. And they're also really good at responding to their followers and engaging with them in conversations. They're not just broadcasting their message. They're actually having a dialogue with their audience.
So they're really embracing that, like, two-way communication that social media makes possible.
And it's a big part of their success.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground in this, like, first part of our deep dive.
I know, that's a lot.
We've explored the evolving digital landscape,
Yes.
the importance of aligning your digital strategy with your business goals, the challenges and opportunities facing digital marketers today,
Yes.
and the key channels of SEO, paid search, display advertising, and social media.
It's been a whirlwind tour.
It has been a whirlwind tour.
But we've only just scratched the surface.
That's right. In the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
we'll delve into elevating the customer experience.
Yes.
The power of content marketing, the importance of user experience, and the data deluge.
I can't wait to dive in.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back. All right, so we're back for the final act of our digital marketing strategy deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
We've explored the landscape, uncovered the tactics, and now it's time for the grand finale.
That's right.
Convincing those decision makers
Yeah.
that this isn't just a bunch of digital mumbo jumbo,
Right.
but a plan that's going to,
move the needle.
Move the needle for their business. Because
Yeah.
a brilliant strategy is only as good as its implementation, right?
Exactly. You could have the most innovative ideas, the most data-driven insights.
Yeah.
But if you can't get buy-in from the people who hold the purse strings,
Right.
it's all for nothing.
So how do we crack the code?
Good question.
How do we transform ourselves from
digital marketers into
master persuaders?
persuaders?
Kingsnorth dedicates a whole chapter to this crucial step.
Okay.
And it's fascinating.
Okay.
He starts by emphasizing the importance of understanding the decision-making process within your organization.
That makes sense. You need to know who you're dealing with. What their priorities are, what kind of evidence they're going to need to see before they,
sign off
on anything.
Who are the key players?
Right.
What are their pain points?
Right.
What are their goals? What keeps them up at night?
Right.
Once you understand that, you can tailor your presentation to resonate with their specific needs and concerns.
It's almost like you're creating a customer persona.
It is.
But for your,
for your stakeholders.
Internal stakeholders.
That's a great way to think about it. And Kingsnorth emphasizes
the importance of building a rock-solid business case. This isn't about just throwing around buzzwords or showing off your digital marketing prowess.
Right. It's not about vanity metrics like likes and shares.
Exactly.
It's about connecting the dots between your strategy and the things that matter most to the decision makers.
Right.
Like revenue, profit, and customer lifetime value.
You need to clearly articulate how your strategy is going to impact the bottom line.
Right.
You need to show them the return on investment.
So data is our best friend.
It is.
In this scenario.
Data is the language of decision makers.
Right.
You need to back up your claims with hard numbers.
Okay.
Show them the projections, the forecasts, the potential impact on key performance indicators.
And Kingsnorth provides a helpful framework for structuring, this compelling proposal.
He calls it the 6S framework.
Okay.
The 6S framework.
S stands for situation, strategy, scope, schedule, stakeholders, and spend. Okay, let's unpack this.
Right.
So first, you've got to set the stage.
Yes.
Paint a picture of,
the current situation.
The current situation. Describe the current landscape.
Right.
Highlight the challenges and opportunities that exist.
Okay.
Why is the strategy needed?
Right.
What are the potential risks of inaction?
Then we lay out our,
our strategy,
our plan of attack.
How are we going to address those challenges and capitalize on those opportunities?
And this is where you get to showcase your expertise.
Exactly.
Your insights.
It's creativity.
But it's important to keep it
clear, concise, easy to understand.
No jargon, no fluff.
Right.
Just a straightforward explanation of what you're going to do.
That's right.
And how you're going to do it.
And then we need to define the scope of the project.
Okay.
What's included, what's not included.
Right.
What are the key deliverables? What are the success metrics?
We need to be realistic about what we can achieve within the given time frame and budget.
And speaking of time frame,
yes,
we need to create a clear schedule for implementation.
Exactly. A timeline with specific deadlines and milestones.
Okay.
This shows that we've thought through the logistics.
Right.
And that we're committed to delivering results.
Then we identify the key stakeholders.
Yes.
Who's going to be involved in this project?
Right.
Whose buy-in do we need to secure?
It's important to map out all the players.
Right.
And understand their roles and responsibilities.
And finally, we get to
the spend.
The budget required.
Yes.
To make this strategy a reality.
And this is where we have to be transparent and realistic.
Right.
What are the costs associated with each phase of the project?
Right.
What is the expected return on investment?
So we've got our successes covered.
We do.
We've got a solid proposal.
Yeah.
That outlines, the situation, the strategy.
The scope.
The schedule. The schedule.
The stakeholders.
The stakeholders.
And the spend.
And the spend.
But it's not just about the content of the proposal, right?
Right.
It's about how we present it.
Presentation is everything.
It is. Kings North offers some fantastic tips for delivering a truly persuasive presentation.
Like what? Spill the secrets.
First and foremost, you've got to exude confidence and enthusiasm.
Okay.
You need to believe in your strategy.
Right.
And you need to convey that passion to your audience.
Right. If you're not excited about it,
you're not going to be excited about it.
You're not going to be excited about it.
If you're passionate and energetic, it'll rub off on them.
It's contagious.
Exactly. And you need to be prepared to answer questions.
Right.
Know your stuff inside and out. Anticipate their concerns and have data and examples ready to support your claims.
Be the digital marketing expert they need you to be.
Exactly. And what about objections?
Oh, yeah, objections.
Someone's always going to push back or have a different perspective.
Right. It's inevitable.
It's true. But don't let it throw you off your game.
Right.
Listen to their concerns.
Okay.
Acknowledge their perspective. And then address their objections with data, logic, and empathy.
So be persuasive, but also be respectful.
That's right.
Don't just shut them down or dismiss their concerns.
Right. It's about finding common ground.
Right.
And working together to achieve a shared goal.
And finally, Kings North stresses the importance of ending with a strong call to action.
Ah, the grand finale.
Don't leave them hanging.
Right.
Tell them exactly what you want them to do next.
That's it. Approve the budget.
Right.
Give you the green light.
Whatever it may be.
So be bold, be confident, and ask for what you want.
Ask for what you want.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into digital marketing strategy.
Wow.
We've explored a lot of ground.
We have.
From the evolving digital landscape
to
the importance of data and analytics, from the power of content marketing to the critical role of user experience, and from the nuances of SEO and paid search to the ever-changing world of social media.
It's been a wild ride.
It has.
But if I had to distill it all down to one key takeaway, what would it be?
I think the biggest takeaway is this. Digital marketing strategy is not a one-size-fits-all proposition. It's about understanding your business, your customers, and your goals.
All right.
And then crafting a strategy that is tailored to your unique needs and circumstances.
So there's no magic formula and no secret sauce?
Not really. It's about being adaptable, data-driven, and customer-centric. And it's about constantly experimenting, learning, and evolving.
That makes sense. What's the most provocative thought you'd like to leave our listeners with today?
Ooh, okay.
Something that will really make them think.
I'd challenge them to consider this. What aspects of their own online experiences make them want to hit that buy button? Or conversely, what makes them run screaming in the other direction?
Ooh, I like that. It's about putting ourselves in the shoes of the customer.
Exactly.
And really understanding
what motivates
them. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, digital marketing is all about connecting with people on a human level.
Right.
It's about understanding their needs, their desires, their pain points, and then crafting a strategy that resonates with them.
Well said.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into digital marketing strategy. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey.
It's been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, we hope you've gleaned some valuable insights that you can apply to your own digital marketing efforts. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those digital wheels turning. Until next time.